Great having my next guest back here on the program. Jared Vanderaa is going to be back in action against Alexander Romanov coming up here at UFC Fight Night on October 9th. Jared, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Today is my daughter's first day of school, so that's awesome. I don't have to deal with her for like 2-3 hours.
There you go. My son had his first day of school last week, preschool. So I know it's a big moment. So how did you feel as a dad to do the first day of school?
I was like, fucking finally, time for a break.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so was she at home the whole time? Because we used to do daycare. I guess I don't know how everyone else is, but
Nope. Well, we could have, but because especially since we own the gym, it's always been, this last year she just lives in the gym. But before school start or before the preschool, I just take her to the gym. Like,
okay.
I have plenty of videos like her last day at the gym with me. I posted it on Instagram and TikTok. Was for some reason she would just pass out, like just out cold, and she put a kick shield on top of her as a blanket.
Wow, getting creative at a young age. I like it. That's
she had it on her and just
that's cool, man. Good stuff. Let's talk about your last fight quickly. Performance bonus. That was a nice little extra chunk of change there. I was curious what you ended up doing with that money with the win over Justin Taffa.
The boring life, being responsible stuff, like get out of debt.
Yeah. That's good though. I mean, being responsible, it's not like you're blowing the money on a car. Did you get a new refrigerator? I remember we talked about that a couple interviews ago.
Yeah, so we got so magically it fixed itself and we haven't had issues. But we actually bought another fridge for the gym because that one went out. So we bought that one actually like 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh, nice. There you go.
I did buy a new car though because my car I was having issues with the battery. I don't try to buy very earthy cars, but I had a Nissan Leaf. And I figured that would be a very good car to commute around. Though I found it actually on the opposite end, it was very much more of a struggle than any pluses. So we turned the Leaf in and we got a Prius.
Cool. That's good too. It's still kind of environmentally friendly, the Prius, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Environmentally friendly person. Like, I genuinely have no like opinions about it. I'm just neutral. But I'm also a person that's not that conscious about money, but I kind of am. And gas prices are stupid right now. So I'm like, yo, like, let me get good. Because the other option besides a Prius was Dodge Ram 1500.
Which is a gas guzzler, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
you made the right choice.
The last 3 days I went to LA, San Diego, back to training, all on one tank of gas. And yeah, and I still have enough to go back to Temecula and forth. So it is one of those few, it's one of those few times where I'm like, I don't care. And people are like, how do you fit in it? I'm like, it's a roomy ass car.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad it worked out. And big fight here, taking on Romanov, like I mentioned off the top. He's undefeated. That's kind of exciting, fighting a guy who's never lost. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
I feel like he's going to be really hungry and he's going to try to eat me. He looks like he has never passed down a meal. He big. But outside of that, though, I know I've gotten a lot of hate for the like I got messages like, oh, you did shit against Spivak, Romanov is a bad wrestler, blah blah blah. I got all that shit, but like I'm just like, yeah, it's not like he doesn't seem so scary. More especially watching his UFC fights, it looks less and less scary. His fight with, I want to say, his first one was...
I think Roque Martinez. Was that the first one, I think?
Roque. And, some of the stuff I heard about him going into that fight, about Roque, I'm just like, oh, wow. And I'm like, he didn't do half bad. And then I think Lima just put all of his weight onto the elbow and just sat down. And then I don't care what people say. I thought he lost his fight with Juan Espinino.
Yeah, it was close.
going with someone else, and said that I'm gonna butcher that name again, and sure enough.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, I get it. Obviously, hasn't been, anytime someone's got an undefeated record, people sort of think a certain way about it. So I definitely get you on that. As far as training camp, you talked a bit about it there, a lot of cross training. Where are you training right now? And who have been some of your main training partners this camp?
So the guy that I started working with late into my Spivak fight, Brandon, who's been my primary coach for this camp, just because he's a D1 West Virginia heavyweight at one point or another. He's 6'2", 300 pounds. He hasn't missed a meal either. He's just a walking muscle. It's annoying how much man he is. So I would say he's my primary training partner, but the thing with him is he's gone out of his way to get some bigger bodies for me to rotate, some amateur, some pro, some just specializing in a form of grappling, just so I could have different looks. I've had some of the high school wrestling coaches who are also top wrestlers come in, help me out. I've had 80cc alternate come in, help me out. So I've had a lot of good grapplers come in to, hug me forcefully.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
In hopes that, I'm more prepared coming into this fight against Romanov.
What about Team Quest? You mentioned Temecula. Are you still going up there and training?
Yeah, no, I split my camp it's not really like splitting the camp, but it's more or less just which location works for me best.
Right.
Because I was doing a lot in Dan's, and then I was doing a lot in Selfmade. It doesn't really bother me which one I'm at. I have my coach, Zach, who's from Dan's, and I have my wrestling coach from Selfmade, who, they're two different things, but at the end of the day, it's for me, no one else. And
yeah, you got to customize it. At the end of the day, it's an individual sport, right? So you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah, and I know I've hurt a lot of people's feelings as of late, but I still give the support to Dan Selfmade because you know what? At this point, it's a little bit of everything from either, and I can't just be like, oh, this is my one gym and my one and only gym. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I would like to make my own gym my one and only gym, but right now I'm building that up, and I can't be building that up and then try and bring everything in there just for me.
Yeah.
Build it up with my students and do that whole shenanigans in itself. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I was going to ask you. I heard Dominick Reyes has actually left Cali, and I think he's training in Vegas now. Have you seen him recently or talked to him at all? Because I know he was at Team Quest.
Well, he was in Cobra Kai in Victorville, and he would do some training out with his brother. And I don't know it as much, but yeah, no, I kind of more seen that too. So I haven't seen him since his last fight. But if that's what's making him happy, by all fucking means, let him do it,
Yeah, kind of what we were just talking about here. You got to do what you got to do, right, as far as your fight career, right? At the end of the day, it's an individual sport, so that makes sense. Back to your fight. How do you see this one playing out between you and Romanov? How do you envision the fight going down on October 9th?
So I envision the fight of Can Dog. He's going to chase me, trying to eat me for the first round. I'm going to run fast around that circle for a good minute, 2 minutes, tire him out, and let him just fall on the floor. And then I'm going to just step on him and raise my hand.
That's simple, huh? Okay, interesting. That's good. And do you want to get one more fight in this year if all goes well in this one, or are you kind of looking more towards next year?
No, I would like one more. I'd love to get on pay-per-view. I don't care if I'm prelim on that at that point. I just think kind of even having the 10 people there would be cool.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I would like to actually be on a pay-per-view prelim fight just because after the fight I could fucking go run in, pay for a ticket, and watch the fight.
You don't even have to pay. They should just give you a seat. I'm sure they do give you a seat, right? I would think. I wouldn't think you have to pay as a UFC fighter.
So, from what I'm told, Sam fucked that shit up.
Oh, did he really? Alvey, yeah.
Yeah. So I might have misunderstood him, but he said that he used to go after a fight. He would go into the crowds and stuff like that, and there would be massive amounts of lines to like meet a lot of the fighters, and he would cause such because he's one of those, I won't call him a people pleaser, but he's a people person.
Yeah.
He's just that person. He says hi to everybody, your grandma, your two kids, and so he'd like cause like giant traffic jams. So now they basically say if you want to watch the show, you have to stay in the back, or if you want to go in the ring, you have to pay for your own ticket.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Last question before we get out of here: how many more fights are left on your contract? Because I was trying to think. You've had I think 4 now. How many fights do you have left?
2.
Oh, you got 2 left. Okay. So after this one, you'll renegotiate, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
I assume so. I pay someone to do that because
Jason House, the man, he'll take care of it, right? So
I made him do all that stuff because he's good at it, not me.
He's very good. Yeah, I agree. Jared, thanks so much for doing this, man. Excited for the fight, UFC Fight Night, October 9th. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Thank you, as always, having me on. Like, what, our 5th, 6th time?
Oh, it's been a lot since back to LFA. Remember when you fought Odoms for the title? That was a couple years ago. So it's been a while.
Okay, maybe like 12 or 15.
Yeah. No, you might be right. It might be 5 or 6 because I remember when you fought for EFC. I don't think we did any interviews then for whatever reason. And then, once you got on the Contender Series and then UFC, then we started doing it. So yeah, you're probably right.
So again, like always, thank you for having me. My teams, Dan Henderson, Selfmade, my Team Quest Athletic Center. If you want to follow me, make fun of me, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Jared Vanderaa. And yeah.